I go for refuge and turn my Latin to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha by my accumulations for the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my Latin to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha by my accumulations for the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my Latin to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha by my accumulations for the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaya svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaya svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaya svaha. Okay, yesterday, so we have the small pieces left, one from the Bodhicitta part and the other from the emptiness part. For the Bodhicitta part, of course, of the two methods, we're doing only the second one. Which method is that? Method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. And what's the other method? The sevenfold cause-effect method to generate bodhicitta. And how many steps with the equalizing exchange self for others? 9 steps. What are they? Equalizing self and others.
Thinking about the merit of self-cherishing.
Donna?
Reflecting on the demerits of self-cherishing.
Very good.
And then contemplating on the merits of cherishing others.
Reflection on the merits of cherishing others. Number 4. Number 4.
Taking on the suffering of others with the emphasis on compassion.
Wonderful. Taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. What's next? Giving your happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. Then what's next? Actual exchange of self and others. What's next? Special recollection of the kindness of others. Then what next? Altruism. Okay, so
Bodhicitta is the last one.
Yes. The most important thing. Then the bodhicitta.
You just forgot. No,
Okay, then the bodhicitta. Okay, where did we leave yesterday?
We didn't talk about 27, special recollection.
Special recollection of the kindness of others. Okay, this is extremely important. Extremely important. Thus far, the conventionally speaking meaning according to worldly conventions. Worldly conventions, even from the worldly convention, we use the reasoning to say that yes, the others are. I feel so grateful to others. The self-centered attitude is so destructive. Artificial mind is so beautiful. This is one which attracts all the good things for me. Okay, this is even from the point of the conventional world. A sensible person will come to this conclusion. Now, special recollection of the kindness of others. So this one, special, why this word special is used is for the reason that ordinary people, even the conventional, they were sensible, a person in the conventional world, even a very sensible person, conventional world meaning who is not introduced to bodhicitta practice, this person cannot really understand this. For example, let's say we speak about your enemies, the exceptional kind. The sensible people will not accept it. Conventionally, ordinary sensible people will not accept it. No, that is too much, right? According to them. Okay, yes, such an attitude is very destructive. They say, yes, it's very destructive. But your enemies, they're so kind to you, they will say no. Okay, so this is something which the conventional world will not accept. Because it's not accepted yet, if you think carefully, it has such an insight, it has such a beautiful message there, which can revolutionize our thinking. Which means that conventional world says, no, this is no way this is possible. Of course it's possible. Not only possible, this is the way for your own the greatest benefit. How? Then you revolutionize the thinking. So because that it revolutionizes the thinking, it is totally something which is unacceptable to the conventional world. It is known as special recollection. Special, which the ordinary people cannot understand it. It is for this reason that oftentimes this part of the teaching is advised to be maintained confidential. Confidential because this is something ordinary people cannot understand it, cannot digest it. At the moment they are so angry towards the difficult people that the moment you say that they are so kind to you, they say that no way. And then they will feel really averse, they will feel aversion towards the bodhicitta practice. Because this is something which is teaching you, which is kind of persuading you to do something which is totally unacceptable. Okay, so therefore it is said that keep this teaching confidential. This is often referred to as the confidential instruction. Okay, for the reason that most of the people, they cannot really understand this teaching. They see that this is something which is unacceptable. Okay, special recollection of the kindness of others, which means that, okay, so in other words, the point that what we are trying to do is to have love and affection unconditionally towards all beings. You agree with me? What we've said is that from what we learned thus far, is that only if how we feel the joy is when the love flows, how we feel the ease is when the love flows, when your mind flows towards others. So if your mind flows towards 10 people, you have 10 joys. If your love flows towards 100 people, 100 joys. If your love flows towards infinite beings, infinite joys. This is the point. Infinite being means all beings. Without exception, without saying that, oh, except for this person, except for that person. I remember when I first joined my monastery, Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, extremely the beautiful center, the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, Dharamsala. When I first joined there, I was so keen on practice of bodhicitta, emptiness. I was so keen, although the bodhicitta was to be studied only on the 3rd year, and then emptiness 8th year. So, but I was so curious. Just on the 1st year, I was looking for what is emptiness, what is bodhicitta, although I was not really there. And then, whatever little I learned, then I tried to practice it. And then, okay, first, the 7 steps. The first 6 steps is fine. And 7th one is a difficult one. Then with the second method, 9 steps. Up to the first 8 is fine. Then the 9th one is very complicated. What is the 9th one? Bodhicitta. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Particularly, I have one person who is so difficult. Just the mere thought of that made me like this. No way, right? And then I press Bodhicitta. Amazing Bodhicitta. So although it's not my subject, but I was still, it's the 3rd year studies, and I just grab it from right now and practicing. But finally, when it reaches the 7th step and the 9th step, may I become Buddha for them all, then sentient beings. Then this thought of this person comes, except for this person.
The moment I accept for this person, finished. The bodhicitta is not there. Bodhicitta means bodhi, full awakening. It's partial awakening. Because you have not awakened with respect to this person. So it's not a full awakening. Okay, so this is where the conventional people cannot really understand it. Now the question is that if you really want to have the full awakening, your job is that you should be freed of all the limitations. That you should become limitless. You should have the limitless power, limitless joy. For that matter, your mind must flow limitlessly, infinitely, unconditionally. Okay, so what do you mean by unconditional? Towards everyone. Who are these everyone? This next question. Who are these everyone? Who are these everyone? This is the question. This everyone is seen into three groups. The ones who you love, and the neutral beings, and the difficult people. Three. You cannot think of any sentient being who does not fall under one of these three categories. The loved ones, well, conventionally what we call as the near and dear ones, the neutral beings, and the difficult people. So, whereas if you are to, may I become Buddha for the sentient beings, all becomes like, some air, in the air. You cannot really grab. You really cannot grab at specific people. So when it comes to the individuals, again the Bodhicitta does not arise. Again the compassion does not flow. In the air it flows. With the individuals it does not flow. So this is a problem. So we should make sure that the Bodhicitta flows individually. You see anybody, the Bodhicitta should flow, your compassion should flow. For that matter, you should be very specific. Instead of saying all beings, all sentient beings, we should be very specific to make sure that your mind literally flows towards each and every sentient being. This is the point. So, now the question is, who are these beings? These beings are three groups. Break them into smaller groups. Then it becomes more specific. Smaller groups. Near and dear ones, the neutral beings, and the difficult people. But near and dear ones, conventionally we say that, you should be grateful. Even this very sensible people will say that, yes, it is so ungrateful if you are being unkind to somebody who loves you so much. So this does not require any specific, even if you show love and affection towards such people, this is not special recollection. Because this is nothing special there. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that this is something, we should be feeling grateful. We should be loving towards somebody who loves you, who gives you benefit, who gives you kindness. This is something, what is difficult is the neutral beings and somebody you meet in the street, or you meet, or you see somebody just passing by, neutral person. And that person, you should be able to let your love and affection flow. And then particularly to the difficult people, these two are something which the conventional world, ordinary people cannot understand it. So if you're able to let your compassion flow towards them, that becomes special. That is something which ordinary people cannot do. Not only cannot do, they are not at all interested in doing it. So this becomes something special. Okay, so the question is, for that matter, how can I cultivate love and affection towards the neutral beings and particularly the difficult people? How can I make this happen? Oh no, you have to make it happen. You have to practice love and affection. How? No, you have to. Okay, I love you. Difficult people, I love you. No, mind doesn't flow, right? It doesn't flow. How to make it happen? This is the next question. You're getting it? So therefore, this is the point. We need to know the mechanisms. Whereas in the text, in many of the texts, you have to love all the sentient beings, you have to remember the kindness. How do you remember the kindness? Right? So this requires extensive studies. So therefore, in the Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist teachings, study is so precious, study is so precious for your own good. With extensive studies, even your single point of shamatha practice will improve. Even your mindfulness practice will improve. Mindfulness practice will become high quality. It's not just very passive mindful. It will become high quality. Your compassion will become very refined compassion, unconditional, very stable. In fact, this unconditional love, what that is going to be like. Okay, theoretically, I learned it since my, say like age 19, 20, from there I learned it theoretically. But practically, so what is that like? I've seen only in 3 or 4 people in my life. Only, I've met thousands of people very closely. But I've seen what is meant by unconditional love, very profound love, in 3 or 4 people. And they're all monks. Which means they're trained. Amazing. Even the monks, I met thousands of monks. I know individually the monks. But this, what we call as unconditional love, which I saw so profound in 3 or 4 people. They're all monks. So this is something which we can practice. Okay, now the question is how to really cultivate it. We can say, no, you have to loving, don't be biased, loving towards everyone. Okay, I'm biased. Yes, you self-centered attitude, this bias. Be loving towards everyone. Okay, yes, I'll be loving towards everyone. Tomorrow, then you see a different person. Again, the anger rises. Oh no, I'm so bad. My teacher said I should be loving to everybody. No, I cannot love this. And you go to the teacher, did you love a difficult person? No, anger arose. No, you are so bad. And you have to practice unconditional love. Yes, sir, so sure. Yes. Again, you did, I love you, I love you. No, it doesn't flow. How to make it happen? This is the point. How to make it happen? This, even the books, you don't find this. How to make it happen? It is only what you find in Lama Tsongkhapa's book. How to make it happen? Oh, it should happen, practice compassion. If you don't, you need Tonglen practice, do Tonglen practice. Yeah, okay, yes, Tonglen practice. Burnout case, burnout happens. No, you are not doing it properly, do it properly. Okay, still burnout happens, how? No, something is wrong, you have to do it with the self-cherishing, the self-cherishing bad. How to do it? No answer. In many of these technical difficulties, answers come from Lama Tsongkhapa's texts. Okay. So the question is how to make your, say, the mind flow towards the neutral beings and the difficult people with love. This is the question. Okay. For that matter, let's say, just recall a moment. Okay, let's say, can you recall a moment? Can you recall a moment where okay, generally speaking, if it does not suit you, because I don't have time, I've just only about like 1 hour and 5 minutes for Bodhicitta Emptiness Boat now. So we have to do a little quick. Just either, in your case, be very unbiased. Don't think of your relationship with your mother now. Think of your relationship with her when you were so vulnerable, when you were age 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, around that age. And if it doesn't really apply to you, by being very unbiased, if it doesn't really apply to you, see if you have witnessed the same thing with other people. In my case, so this practice is so efficient, not because that I could vividly remember my mother's love. I just, at the most, what I have is, I have the snapshot of my mother cuddling the 3 children in her lives, and then me being the youngest one, I was in the middle. This is just a snapshot. No, what do you call it?
Elaboration.
The movie there too. One is the slideshow and the other one is motion movie. Yeah. Right? I do not have this motion movie. I just have the slideshow of my mother's love. That's it. Just one picture. I could just visualize that. Whereas many of you, I'm sure, you could really recall the mother giving you love, affection, cuddling you, and so forth. Right? Investing everything on you. Okay. If you could remember those. Or your dad doing that, or your grandmother doing that, or your grandfather doing that, or somebody doing that to so lovingly, genuine love, not for ulterior motives. Okay. Or if you've not seen that, if you've not really experienced that, did you experience that, or did you see that in somebody else? Okay, this is my question. So my question, just recall a situation where you were being loved by somebody when you were vulnerable. When you were vulnerable, you are being loved by somebody so intensely. Do you remember any moment? Can you can you give me one example? Very quick.
Well, being ill and my mother looking after me.
What age you were?
Maybe 6.
Okay, very good.
6, 7.
At 6, when you were 6, then you were ill, and your mother, then you felt so much love and affection, and Henrik.
When I used to wake up when I was 5 or 6 and be afraid of nightmares, and my father would come with cold water to soothe me.
Wonderful. Look. And at one point, I remember one of my nieces, my sister brought my niece and my nephew, 2 of them, so that they will have the 1 week holiday with me. And then my niece was very young, and the nephew was even younger, 2 years younger, 1 year younger than both of them very young. And the sister brought them to my house, and we were just chatting. And okay, they come to my house, they go, they come, they go, and then they come, and my sister came there, and then my sister was about to leave. The moment the niece sensed that her mother was leaving, she just exploded. She cried, screamed, exploded. Till that point, she was controlling. I did not know that. She could see the prospect of the separation from the mother. Suddenly she exploded. What happened? Right? Oh, I could feel the pain of this young child to see the separation from the mother. This was what we all went through. We just forgot. We all went through. Except for 1 or 2. We went through that. The same thing happened in Cambridge, in Oxford. My friend, his wife, me, and 2 of their very young son, I think age about like 6 or 7. Then because of 2 of them were to take me to London to meet with one professor. And for that matter, the boy was a little restless, so they would be so distracted, disturbed. So they want to keep the boy, the young son, with his grandparents. And then when we were about to leave, the son just started screaming, seeing the prospect that he's going to be separate from the mother. I could feel the pain of this young child. So this is actually what we all went through. The only thing is that we forgot. So therefore, it is so good. Observe what is happening around you, and see that my mother also did the same thing to me. You can infer many things from there. Okay, now tell me, for example, like say, this boy sensing the separation from the mother, seeing the prospect of the separation from the mother, and then he could not control his tears. He was just screaming, crying, screaming. Tell me, why was he crying that intense? Why? Tell me.
Why?
No, just give me a very simple answer, very quick. Because he could see, he is afraid that he's going to be separated from the mother. Why is he afraid? What did he not want to be separated from the mother? Why?
Because the mother is the one who protects him.
Because he loves the mother so much. Why he loved the mother so much? Okay, now my question to you. This is so important. This is the key. Tell me, this boy, day one he was born, if he sees that he's going to be separate from the mother, will he cry? For him? For this day one, no difference between this mother and the nurse, no difference. After 4 or 5 years time, then this is the mother, right? I should not be separate from this. Developed such intense love towards this mother. Tell me, why over the course of 4 years time, 5 years time, the boy who did not have any feeling of affection towards this particular mother, day one he was born, over the course of 4 or 5 years time, he developed such an intense love to this mother. Why? How come that he developed such a love? What made him to develop this love?
Being happy with her.
Huh?
Being happy with her.
Be happy with her. Speak more. Huh?
She cares for him.
She cares for him. Yes.
Because he receives everything.
Exactly. This is the key, right? All the answers are correct. Make it very dramatic. Right? This boy knows that whatever he wants, he's getting from this mother. Right? When he's hungry, the mother will be sensing his body language. You don't have to ask. You just cry. The mother says, "Are you hungry? Are you thirsty?" Right? And then having eaten everything, even they drank, eaten everything, still you cry, "Are you sick?" Who is that? The mother. Sensing that this is the one from whom I'm getting the maximum benefit. Human psyche, that the mind flows towards the benefit. It's human psyche that the mind flows towards the benefit. So this mind flowing towards the benefit, the one who is the source of benefit, this is known as mind feeling close to the mother, mind feeling close to the father. This is the meaning of the becoming close, developing the sense of closeness. Now, if you can sense a benefit that you get from the neutral beings, if you can sense a benefit that you're getting from the enemies, your mind will automatically flow towards them. And then particularly if you can sense the benefit that you get from the neutral beings is much more than the benefit that you get from your mother, your mind will flow towards the neutral beings even more intense than how it flows towards your mother. And if you sense that the benefit that you get from the enemies is even more than the neutral beings, far more than your mother, your mind will flow the most towards the enemies. You have no enemies now. Everyone you feel so close. Particularly what we call conventional call as enemies. These are the ones to whom you feel exceptionally close. The next question, how can we think about the benefit that you get from the neutral beings and the enemies? This is the next step. Okay, so this is point number 7. A special recollection of the kindness. Kindness meaning benefit. Benefit of all the beings. All the beings meaning the near and dear ones. Fine, no need to think of. You just see, and you will see so vividly. But the neutral beings, we don't feel it. Enemies even further away. Okay, neutral beings. Let's say that, okay, how many of you have been to India for the audience with His Holiness, for pilgrimage and so forth? How many of you have never been there? Okay, you must go there once, right? Particularly from Finland, Sweden, you must go there once to see the massive population. Massive population, because the bigger the population, tendency that you will get lost will be more, right? You go there once, and then let's say that there are two that you are so new to this place, and then, oh, I'm hungry, I have to eat something. There are two restaurants. One restaurant which is so crowded, one restaurant is so clean, very spacious, all the seats empty, so nice, clean. And it's your first time here. You are a little scared. You heard about, okay, getting stomach upset and so forth. Which restaurant will you go? The crowded one. How do, of course the crowd, this is the first one, the food is healthy, it's very good. How do you know that the first one is better?
You
Everyone
don't.
is there.
Huh?
Everyone is there. And
Yes. So these people are telling you that come here. Do you know these people?
No.
These people saved your health. These people saved your health. Otherwise you have to end up in hospital. Right? You go there, oh, this nice place, you go there, you eat something, and then you have diarrhea, loose motion, you end up in hospital. Right? Your parents worrying. Why you are not worrying at all now? Why you don't have to worry? Because you are in the good restaurant. How do you know that this is good restaurant? Because the indication is there. Who are these indications? The people there. Do you know these people? No. Are you angry with these people? No, these are not you don't know these people, right? So these are what the conventional world calls as neutral beings. These neutral beings, they help you. Your mother is in Sweden, your mother is in Finland. Your mother cannot help you to identify the good hotels. But who help you identify these good hotels? Good restaurants, these people. These are neutral people. You're getting it? And particularly in an unknown place. Would you prefer to be by yourself in a train, just by yourself, in one big compartment by yourself, or with more people? Huh?
Myself.
Yourself. In one compartment. In one compartment yourself.
Well, you asking the questions. These are the Nordic countries.
No. Therefore, I told you, you must go there once. It's very scary. It's very scary to be by yourself. Anytime, anybody can come and rob you and kill you. Anytime. Right? Whereas very crowded, nobody will dare to come and hack you and kill you and rob you. Right? You feel so secure. Literally, you will feel so secure. Particularly if you have the experience. Of by being yourself in an unknown place and quite known for robbery, theft, and so forth. And then you're by yourself. There's so much of fear. Suddenly you escape from that. And then later on, you are in a very crowded place. You will feel gratitude, tremendous gratefulness to the people around. This is the kindness of the neutral people. Your mother cannot come with you at all places. But these neutral people always stay with you to make sure that you are safe, that you get a healthy food, that you are not being robbed by some other people. Right? Don't think that I'm from a Nordic place. Right? I prefer to be by myself. You go there anytime. Your watch will disappear, your mobile will disappear, your life may disappear also. Right?
But
So therefore, no, it's not Indian to go to places with high population, big population. Smaller the population is easy to control, is easy to teach, is easy to make rules. Bigger the population is very difficult to. It's not about the country, it's about the size. If the Nordic countries, if the size is going to be 1 billion, if the size of the population is 1 billion, you cannot manage. India is an amazing country. It manages 1 billion human beings. It's an amazing country. You're getting it? If you get to the right person, right place, it's a paradise. Whereas Nordic countries, they will not know how to manage. They will go into coma if they have to manage 1 billion human beings. Right? So therefore, it's not India. It's about the size of the population. Right? We have to see the good side, the good sides of this. Okay. 1. And then let's say, okay. Oh, somebody has extra pen?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the right pen I'm looking for. Okay, this pen, how costly is this pen? How costly is this pen? Very quick.
€1.
Not €1, no.
50 cents.
Huh? 50 cents. In €1, you will, if you get to the right shop, you will get 10 of these. In €1, for €1. But if you go to very big showrooms, it will cost you €5. If you go to the correct shop, you will get 12 of these for €1. Right? €1 shops are there. No, 99-cent shops are there. Go there, you will get 12 of these for €1. Okay, so my point is that think it very seriously. Think it very seriously. Say, this pen existed 1,000 years ago? No. 1,000 years ago people were writing on papers? Or listen, yes, of course they write on papers. What did they use as a pen?
Ink.
Huh?
Feather.
Feather. Be very dramatic, this is the meaning. Right? Don't say pen. Because pen is so easy for you. In those days there's no pen, it's just the feather. Feather, dip it in the ink, and then it becomes bloated, right? And look at the old writings, the best of the handwritings, still the ink, the flow of the ink is very uneven. You notice that? The old ones? Why? Because they were using the feather. Tell me. Even the kings and the queens, they were using the feather. They did not have the privilege of using this pen. If they have this pen, they will put this in the treasure house. Guaranteed. Right? This is something which you don't have to dip in the ink every time. And it's so, you can write it so evenly. It's so clean, it will not make your hand dirty. It's so beautiful, so very cheap. Very cheap. Right? And in those days, if the kings and queens, they have this, they will boast of this as a treasure. One of the treasures of a kingdom is the pen. Right? But you use it and then use and throw.
Take it for granted.
Right, take for granted, you use it from. How come that you are getting this for such a cheap price? If you were to make this for yourself, if your mother is to make this to you, mother and father, if they have to make this for you, just for you have to extract the plastic from the petrol. You should have billions of dollars worth petroleum machine to extract the petrols. Then the tip is metal. Again, you need the huge machine to extract iron from the iron ore, from the mining. You have to mine it. And all these people you have to pay, and the machineries. Right? One pen will cost you billions of dollars, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Right? But you are getting it so cheap. It's just half a euro. You get this, and then you throw this. Right? How come that you have such a privilege to use, which even the kings and queens did not have the privilege to use, and yet you are getting it so cheap? How come that you're getting it so cheap? Tell me.
Because of the kindness of fathers who are making it happen.
No, don't say kindness. Speak your mind directly.
Which is? That's fine.
No. Tell me. How come that you're getting very cheap?
It's mass produced.
Because of the mass production. Wow, amazing. I've got two wonderful answers from you. Very dramatic and very straight answers. Thank you. It's amazing. Because of the mass production.
As well.
What do you mean by mass production?
Industrialization.
Industrialization.
Okay. How come that industrialization is possible? Okay, for example, let's say, okay, Rolls-Royce. Oh, Rolls-Royce is producing millions. Do you agree with me or not? No? Why not Rolls-Royce in millions? Huh? Because there's no demand. And this one, so much in demand. What do you mean by so much in demand? Many people are buying this. You're getting it? Many people are buying this. Because of this, the cost simply dropped. If there's only 10 people buying this, for sure, guaranteed this pen will cost you 1 million euros. Guaranteed. Only 10 people are buying this. There are thousands and thousands, millions of people using the same pen. So therefore it becomes so cheap, half a cent. You getting it? Why you get the privilege of using this pen at such a low price is because of the mass production, where so many people are buying the same object. Because of them, that you are getting this so cheap, and you have the privilege of using this so cheap. Okay. Do you know these people? There's millions of people involved in the mass production. Do you know these people?
No.
Are you angry with those people?
No.
No, you don't know them, which means that they are not classified as a loving person. And you don't feel angry towards them. They are not enemies. They are the neutral people. It's because of the neutral people that you are able to get a pen, which if your parents are to make just for you, they will have to pay billions of dollars, which they cannot. But this is possible for you because of the neutral people. So neutral beings can provide something which even your parents cannot provide. You getting it? Likewise, okay, so from this we said everything, the clothes that you use, the light that you will use, the light is so cheap. This electricity bill is so cheap as compared to the actual worth. Simply because the whole nation is using this electricity, so therefore it dropped the price. It drops. Otherwise, if this is just to be if this is to be found only in your house, this electricity is going to just per second, it will be millions of euros per second. Simply because the same thing is used by millions of people. Finland, 6 million people or 5 point something million people. They use the same electricity. So the same machine is good enough for the 6 million people. Yes?
Let's say that it can also be the other way, that because it is very much in demand, those who supply it can extort. Like for example in Finland, Caruna, they have privatized electricity and now they extort for the transfer of power. Whereas if you have at your own house, like you said, a machine, let's say wind generator, solar panel, something like this.
Okay, solar panel, your mother made it? Your father made it?
No.
The windmill, the big fans, did your mother produce in the factory in your own house?
Well, I have read a news story about a person who built his own windmill from junkyard trash.
Okay, from?
Where this happened?
No.
Rubbish, like collecting rubbish and building.
Rubbish from where? His own rubbish or from others' rubbish?
No, it is dependent, of course, but...
No. The point is, the rubbish they might, is it made of papers? Even the paper is also made of other people, not by him. It must be metal. Metal must have come from the ore. Let us not think of, just say sometimes the newspapers, they need news. They need news. What do you call it? What's the English word? Sensationalize. Right? Actually, the story is very different. The story is so connected. The person cannot give you the impression as though like this person is so self-sustained. It's not true. It's not true. If this person were to be in, say, the Mount Kailash, without disconnected from the rest of the world, cannot even get the garbage. Even the garbage is so precious. So in other words, we see that the point is that all the benefit that, okay, that person, or even if that person is successful in that, let's talk this way, how many of these persons today, are we competent like this person? Not. We live here. We are using this pen. We are using this electricity. Right? We are using the heating system. If we belong with that person, and then we can tell a story. But we are not. That person, only 1 out of 7 billion human beings. Even that, the success is because of dependent on many other garbage. Garbage is not produced by him, produced by other people. Right? Other people. So then we see that it is not the individual. It is simply because of the kindness of the neutral people that you reap the maximum benefit, which even your parents cannot provide. Okay, which is the greater benefit? Let's say, which is more beneficial? Say, your mother giving you the clothes. Your mother giving you the clothes. Okay. Okay, your mother give you the clothes. Okay, my son, my daughter, it's very cold. I brought, this clothes from the shopping mall for you. Okay, this one. And then the heating system. Heating system, which your mother cannot make. If your mother is to make just for you, will cost billions of dollars. Right? Okay, tell me, very honestly tell me. Which is the greater benefit? You getting a cloth or you getting this heating system? Far more benefit is the heating system. And this your mother cannot provide. Your mother loves you so much, but she cannot provide this. This is only because of the millions of hands involved. And these people are known as the neutral people. Imagine you're 1,000 years back in time in the same land, Finland. In winter, how would you survive? You would crave, forget about the night darkness, right? The whole day darkness, whole day night. Forget about that. Even the cold, you will crave that, oh, when will the May come? When will the June come? You'll crave. Nowadays, you don't have to crave as much. Only the weather, only the light, you crave for the light. Otherwise, for the heating system, you have a good heating system there, ready. It's very easy, right? So if you think in this situation, you see that I'm getting all this benefit because of neutral beings. It's a matter of thinking. If you think, then the sense of gratitude will come in you. The more the sense of gratitude comes to you, the more your mind will flow towards who provides the benefit. Who are they? Neutral people. Your mind will flow towards neutral people. And the fact that, for example, let's say let's say that the Nordic countries. Okay, you can walk freely in the open street, even there is nobody there. Do you know why it is possible? Why that is possible? Because because of the kindness of the heavily populated countries. Because of these countries. Why? Oh, we are not this invasion coming. So you create a border. You create a border, right? And then you all defense put to stop the heavily populated people. Because if it's not so heavily populated, then these people can easily come in. Right? So because of the protection from these heavily populated countries, so you create the border. Creating the border, then you feel safe inside. Right? And then you can walk freely. Whereas if the border is not there, you cannot walk freely because people will come in. Why the border is created? Because the other side is heavily populated. Right? So they are all interconnected. Not interconnected. Because of that you are reaping all the benefit. You getting it? Yeah. So therefore, the point is that the more we think about this, wow, it's amazing. I'm so fragile, and yet I get all the benefit because of neutral beings. The more we think, your mind will automatically flow. Then later on, to the extent that when you go out, you see anybody just walking past by, right? You just feel like crying. You just feel like smiling at that person. A person may think, why this person smiling at me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You feel so close. It's unfortunate on the other person, because the other person did not think about, how he or she is kind to you, right? Actually, he or she is so kind to you. You are likewise kind to that person, and you just feel like smiling. It's so beautiful moment. Literally, let's say, when you are in isolation, when you met in Bodhicitta, okay, this is what I tried. What I tried, sitting for personal liberation, personal practice in isolation, in solitude, and then for about a month, 2 months, I sit for my meditation, particularly in Bodhicitta, to the extent that this love and affection grows. It grows. And then you just feel like seeing the human beings, animals. You feel how kind they are to you. Just feel like seeing them. The moment you see them, even the cats, dogs, insects, human beings, such a love flows. You just feel like talking to them. You just feel like praying to these people, for these insects. It's because of their kindness that I survive. I get the maximum benefit. It's a beautiful practice. Okay, one. Now the next. What is next? Difficult people. Okay, difficult people. Finally, you don't have to look for any benefit from outside. Your Buddha nature is good enough. Your Buddha nature has everything. Your Buddha nature has everything. All the benefits. What benefit you need? Right? Why do we need the heating system? Because your body cannot bear the cold. No, your body. This is not your real nature. Your real nature is Buddha nature. Buddha nature does not require the heating system. Right? Who made you vulnerable, so weak, so fragile, that temperature dips like -20, -30, your body cannot bear it? Who makes that? Self-centered attitude. Buddha nature, if it comes out, no matter what temperature, -100 degrees centigrade, still you don't find unease. There's a total ease there. Temperature goes up to 1000 degrees centigrade. You can bear it. Not only you can bear it, you can maintain this extreme infinite happiness and fearlessness. No problem. Why? We have become so weak. What makes us weak? Contrary to the potential of this Buddha nature. Self-centered attitude. This Buddha nature is not allowed to come out. What stops the Buddha nature from coming out? Self-centered attitude. So that makes us weak. When this Buddha nature, which can bear the -100 degrees centigrade, the plus 1000 degrees centigrade, this Buddha nature is there, but you cannot bear. Even though it's -10, -20, you can bear it. And the 40 degrees, I cannot imagine, right? You cannot bear it. What made you know? What made you so vulnerable? Because that potential inside is blocked. What blocks you? That's your enemy. Who blocks you that? Self-centered attitude, that blocks that. So self-centered attitude is one which makes you vulnerable. In what way you are vulnerable? You are made vulnerable by self-centered attitude. Two ways: short-term, long-term. Very short-term, and relatively the longer term and the long-term. Very short-term, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm cold. Your near and dear ones come to give you these things. They benefit you like this. And then, okay, Mom, I feel so cold in the winter, I need heating system. 1000 years ago, I need a heating system. I come to know that 1000 later there's going to be heating system. Please, Mother, make one heating system for me. I'm very sorry, I can't make it. Today we have it. Who made this for us? Your mother cannot provide it. Neutral beings. They are something which even the near and dear ones cannot provide. These are provided by neutral beings. Then long term, what do you want? Finally, I should be totally freed from all these limitations and vulnerabilities. I should be free from all these. Because to depend on external factors is so tiring, exhausting, unreliable. I want to make myself so reliable that I don't depend on external factors at all. What should we do? What should we do? Let this Buddha nature come out. How do you make this Buddha nature come out? Make yourself Buddha. Right? How to make yourself Buddha? How to make yourself Buddha? Finally, let your compassion flow towards all beings. What blocks you from letting your compassion flow towards all beings? Self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude, it blocks your mind from letting your compassion flow towards neutral beings and the enemies. Neutral beings, now you have challenged the self-centered attitude by reflecting on the benefits that the neutral beings provide to you. But what about the enemies? What about enemies? Enemies are the ones who help you to get rid of the self-centered attitude completely. Enemies are the ones who will give you the lasting happiness. Enemies are the ones who gives you the long-term happiness, long-term fearlessness, long-term happiness. How? Okay, tell me, how many you go for annual medical checkup? How many you go for annual medical checkup? Only one. Okay, the doctors. Huh?
I'm sorry?
Annual medical check.
I don't know.
You're a doctor.
Yeah, well,
Oh, by the way, tell me.
It is not recommended in Finland.
Okay, so let's say annual medical checkup. Okay, say okay, I'll ask the two doctors, right? Annual medical checkup is it good or bad?
depends.
No, when you are young, not needed.
Yes, but older it's good
Yeah, why good?
to see the change and to be able to make
Rectifications way before it becomes worse,
It's prevent.
and our body.
Preventive means.
Preventive means, yes. Our body is like a machine. Our body is like a machine. When the machine is it's like a car, brand new car, right? You don't need service. As the car becomes older, you need more service, right? Don't think that our machine is like our body is like a young car, fresh car, new car, every age. No, 40 plus, go for medical checkup. Hey, 40 plus, don't think that we are, right? We have to go for medical checkup.
But here you just go to the doctor when you are sick. If you go and say, I want to make an annual checkup, they will ask you, are you sick? If you say no, they don't want to do it.
That's
That's
not
how
true.
it is in
Sweden it's
Sweden.
true.
No,
It's like that.
women in
Maria.
Finland and Sweden must go once a year.
No.
Should go.
I've been many
Yeah.
times. They
No,
don't want
I've
to do
been
anything.
Should go.
Okay, because this is for free, right? But the doctors, they don't want to do it because they're not getting anything out of that.
Then you have to go private.
But if you can sue, the doctors will listen to you. If you sue the doctors,
In 10 years, we will see totally different Scandinavian countries. Now it also is very nice and happy. After generation, everything will be totally different. I promise it to you.
Okay, then let me listen to the doctor. Yes.
It's because the medical checkup, if everyone in Finland did a medical checkup, we didn't have any resources to take care of the diseases because there is a certain amount of money reserved for taking care of people's illnesses. And that is the reason why everybody cannot go every year to see a doctor.
Yeah, not
So okay.
That's
not
please,
correct.
Emilia, please. But women should go and see a gynecologist every year, recommended, not provided by the public health
Yes,
care
but
sector,
private.
But
should
recommended.
go to a private, and that is the doctor's health checkup for women. If you are not going, if you're above 30 and you're not going, I highly recommend you start going.
Okay, so the point is, okay, Stina?
Yeah, but that's also depending where you work. I mean, if you work with a private company, there is like a company is offering you to go and see the doctor yearly or take their blood test or whatever is needed. It depends what kind of system they have.
Exactly.
So there is like a basic health care is offered for everybody. And then, for example, for the women after a certain age, you will get a letter home that you need to come for the mammography every 2 or 3 years. You have to come for their gynecological sample to see if you have, like cells for the cancer. So these are up to a certain age.
Okay, so from this, what I can see is that, okay, one, we should be very realistic. We should be very realistic. And now from this, what I'm getting information is what the one thing which, whether I'm just, okay, let's say this is my first time to Finland. What if this is a system? Guarantee what I can sign. I will not sign saying that the law says that you have to go for a medical checkup every year. This is not what I'll sign. I'll sign saying that your body after 40 years need a medical checkup. This I'll sign. Your body and the Asian body, there's no difference, right? Your emotions and the Asian emotions, there's no difference, right? Guaranteed, number one. Number two, then the question is, as what Stina said, that the private companies, many of them, they have some kind of the system provision that you have to go for a medical checkup at a certain age, like this is Very true. And then why the point 7, if you go to the doctor, or I want to have the annual checkup, you say, are you sick? I'm not sick. No way, get out. So why this happening is answered by Marita. Marika. What Marika? Because if we should be very realistic, in where the medical is not free, right? Where the medical is not free, you can announce that, okay, the government will not pay for your medical checkups, but the government can easily recommend to help the citizens. It is highly recommended that when you are 40 plus, make sure that you go for an annual medical checkup. But for that, they only pay the money for making an announcement. They don't pay you for the going to the hospital. Whereas in Finland, then the government is to pay. When it's a free, everybody will come. Everybody will come. Whereas when it's not free, not everybody will come. Only those who can afford, only those who have the awareness, health conscious, they will come. Whereas if it's for free, everybody will come. Then where is the resource? Do you have enough resource? Right? Everybody who is sick will go there, but not everybody becomes sick. Right? Even if you are sick or not sick, annual health checkup is something recommended for everybody. So where's the resource? This is a question, right? Whereas where the medical is not free, so we don't worry about the resource. People, when they come, please, I want to go for the annual checkup, they will come with the money. Whereas here, it's for free, which means it's not free. Government has to pay. Where is the resource? This question.
I have been thinking a long time that we should change that because we are paying taxes about 30% of our income. So Finland and Nordic countries used to be famous to be Nordic welfare state, but it has collapsed already a long time ago because the private companies have had more power all the time in every field. And I think that's wrong. I fully agree with you that we should have once a year.
That is mandatory. That is mandatory. Okay, the doctor there.
I'm sorry, but it's also a question of morality because there is no good medical health to guarantee you are healthy.
Yeah.
You can choose, we measure this, this and this, so it means we don't measure this, this and this.
Okay, so this I would say that don't expect perfection. If you expect perfection, it will become like my book. This book will never come out. You are getting it? Don't, this is what I'm saying. So morality, don't go for the perfection. Don't go for the perfection. If you go for the perfection, then all the hospitals of Ireland should be shut down. Because perfect morality in these hospitals, perfect morality, if I'm to pick up, out of 1,000 doctors, 10, if perfect morality, wonderful. Right? 10, if perfect morality is wonderful. You have to shut down all. So therefore, don't go for the perfectionism. Okay, here, Virginie.
They might have the perfect morality, but they may not be fully qualified.
Okay. Okay, so never mind, this is a matter. So we don't have another 6 days. We don't have another I wish we have another 6 days. Now still I have just about 20 minutes. I have to complete the Bodhicitta, I have to complete the emptiness. I've only 20 minutes. Okay.
Let's go back to loving enemies.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. Okay. So the point is that our self-centered attitude, it is so vicious in blocking us from getting the immediate benefits, very immediate benefits, and the immediate benefits and the long-term benefits. This self-centered attitude. If the self-centered attitude is not there, we have the immediate benefit, most immediate benefit, and the long-term benefit. All we don't really need them because benefit means you are not perfect. This Buddha nature is perfect. Perfect in every sense. It does not require anything. It is not at all dependent. It is not at all vulnerable. But now you are vulnerable. Who made you vulnerable? The one which blocks this Buddha nature. Who blocks this Buddha nature? Self-centered attitude, self-cherishing mind. This blocks it. In what it blocks it? It blocks your potential. It makes you vulnerable. In what be vulnerable? In three ways. Vulnerable in having to depend on the immediate needs, less immediate needs, and the long-term needs. What is the immediate need? Immediate food, immediate clothing, right? And somebody bullies you as a young child, immediate rescue. This is all provided by your near and dear ones like your mother, father, brother, sister, and so forth. And little distant immediate needs. For example, like, okay, this mic, your mother cannot provide this. This electricity, your mother cannot provide this. And the basic weaving machines to weave all the clothes from the machines, your mother cannot provide this. Your mother can provide, at the most, your mother can provide the very basic, crude, handmade thing. Even that one shawl she may take like 6 months, just fully dedicated on this. And you need so many things, right? Every day you have to change your clothes. Your mother cannot provide this much. One cloth you have to use for at least 1 month, right? But now we change every day. Every day. So who provide these? It's all because of big machines. How come that these big machines come to being? What's mass production? What is mass production? The neutral people. So we see that the more the distant needs, but very important needs, without which we cannot really survive. The population will simply drop if we are to live in the same situation 1,000 years ago. Simply drop. Okay. Then the long-term needs. So all these needs are provided by the neutral beings. Then long-term needs, which is the final benefit, infinite happiness. Infinite happiness. For that, you should exterminate the self-centered attitude. There's no something, okay, you go somewhere, then somebody give you the infinite happiness. No. Infinite happiness, you have to work inside. Get rid of the subtle stains of the self-centered attitude. Subtle stains of self-centered attitude. How to get rid of that? How to get rid of that? For that, so the way we talk about going to medical checkup, annual medical checkup, even though you don't have any pertinent threat. But, okay, I'm already 40 plus. So, you go to the doctor and then say, in case, even if so in the Nordic countries, even if you don't pay directly, you're paying through the taxes. You're paying. Either through tax or through direct. You're paying for that. So, please do the checkup and I'll pay for you. What checkup? Do you have a sickness? No, I don't have sickness at the moment, but I don't know, please see if there's the potential danger to my health. Then they check up to see if there is a hidden problems within you, right? So, somebody who helps you to diagnose these hidden problems, they will not rectify it. They will just tell you that you have this hidden problem. There is the trace of the cancer there. You have to remove this right now to stop from growing further. And you have to remove it now. So you feel so grateful to that doctor who is able to identify the cancerous, the trigger. You're so grateful to that doctor. And you have to pay. Either you directly or through the tax, you have to pay. Okay, now, say the final to become really, really independent, that you be freed of the vulnerability, is through the getting rid of the self-centered attitude. To get rid of self-centered attitude, the gross one is very easy to identify. The gross self-centered attitude is very easy to identify, right? Somebody says, okay, I go with another boy. Okay, let's say I go with I go with Thomas. And somebody says that, oh, Thomas, you are very young, which means that I'm old. Yeah, oh, Thomas, you are very young. Wow, wow, you're very young. Thomas, you're very young. Oh, Thomas, you're very young. First time is fine. 2, 3, 4 times means saying that you are old. You're getting it? You're old. Okay. So this is how our self-centered attitude, right? Okay. And then next time I meet the Emily. Okay. Did you meet, you and Thomas, 2 of you, did you meet this gentleman? Yes, yeah. You like him, he's a nice person. Yeah, okay, he may be nice. Why? He didn't say anything bad to me, but he simply, my ego, that he's very young. You're very young, Thomas, you're very young, right? Oh, shall we go to play basketball? Hey, Thomas, Thomas, right? I'm as though like I was not a human being. Right? Then I feel that he meant to say that I'm old. Right? How dare he say like this? He's so nasty. And then my breath becomes heavier, deeper, right? So this ego, self-centered attitude. So look, this how self-centered attitude acts and disturb you. So this very gross self-centered attitude, very gross may easily identify, right? And then what happened to you? This person is so gentle, so good. What happened to you? No, nothing really happened. Then went to the person. What did you say? Did you say anything bad to him? No, I didn't say anything. Then what do you say? I said that Thomas, you are young. You are very young. You are very young. You are very young. And then I don't know. Somehow he's not talking to me, right? I see. Oh, he has a very gross self-centered attitude, ego. You're getting it? Gross ones very easy to identify. The subtle ones are very difficult to identify. Right? If you have a gross stomach ache or the problems, doctors don't have to check. You can easily, I have a pain, right? You can identify that. Very subtle ones, you cannot check it yourself. Somebody you need help with the doctors. Likewise, a subtle self-centered attitude. That to eradicate that, you have to identify that. Even to identify that is very difficult. Gross ones, identifying that is very easy. Without identifying the subtle ones, you cannot get rid of them. Your mother cannot help you to identify self-centered attitude. Subtle ones, because you come from the retreat, then you go to mother, and then usually you don't say your mother. You come from any place far away, you meet your mother, and mother will say, "Oh, my daughter, my son, you like to have a cup of juice, cup of tea? Yeah, okay, thank you," right? But this time, coming from the retreat, you go there, your mother says, "My daughter, you like a cup of tea, cup of juice, cup of coffee." "Mom, I'll do it." Wow, what happened? My daughter's changed a lot. Wow, she's so kind now. My son has changed a lot. He's so kind, right? Okay. Usually the sons, they don't call their dads, "Dad, have you eaten food?" And after this retreat, then you call your dad, "Daddy, have you eaten food? Did you take a medicine?" Right? Your dad will be surprised. What happened? My son now has started to ask me whether you have eaten food. He's concerned about me. Wow, it's amazing. You're so happy. Then you see your mother comes to see you, your mother will have a glow there. "Wow, amazing, my daughter, you have changed a lot from this retreat. What did you learn? What did you do there?" And you say, "It's amazing, Bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, it's amazing, so good, so good." Then mother says, "Yes, indeed, so good. You have changed a lot, amazing," right? Your self-centered attitude never comes out. Who will help you to identify self-centered attitude? Then your neighbor comes, knock at the door, and say that, "How dare you throw the garbage next to my door?" Right? "This girl came today and then the garbage is there." Right? Then you say, "Okay, Bodhicitta." Right? No, we do not. "Yes, who did it if you not? You came today and then today it came. Till today it was so clean there. And you came and today it happened." Right? And also I heard the voice. Right? They will say that, "How dare you say like this?" Then, in a way, your enemy is saying that, "Look, where's your Bodhicitta? Where's your Bodhicitta retreat?" Right? "Where's your Bodhicitta retreat?" "What Bodhicitta retreat?" Then it comes out. Right? So your enemy, your friend, your neighbor is saying that, "Look, how this is still you are weak, still you have the disease. You have the ailment, self-centered attitude is hiding within you. Now I picked it up. Now your job is to go to hospital, remove that. Right? So till that point, your mother, oh, Bodhicitta, is amazing, it's so profound. I don't know how the 6 days sleep simply flew. It's so short. 6 days, so short. It's just like 1 day. It's amazing. You will never identify the self-centered attitude inside. Only your enemies will help you. Just as a very subtle hidden illness, even only the doctors will have to identify that, not yourself. Right? Likewise, this self-centered attitude, without identifying this, you can never eradicate that. Without eradicating this, self-centered attitude will continue to bully you, continue to make you vulnerable. Now you identify that, then coming home, back home, then you see this book there, you see this book there, you see the notes there, and your notebook also lying next to it, and the Bodhicitta enemies are the best of your, wow, okay, that's true. Now the self-centered is still there within me, I'm still very weak. I need to work on this. Then you work on this, then self-centered, subtle self-centered attitude got rid of. Infinite happiness. How come that you achieve this infinite happiness, that your self-centered attitude got rid of completely? Because of the enemies who help you to identify the subtle self-centered attitude. They're exceptionally kind. Who gave you the Buddhahood? Not your mother, not the neutral beings. Only your enemies. Enemies are the ones who gave you the greatest of the gift, which is Buddhahood. This is the greatest of the gift they give. Wow, so kind, so grateful. Yet the enemies are suffering. Then you feel compassionate that they are suffering because of self-centered attitude, and they help me to identify my self-centered attitude. Now I become enlightened. Now I see what enlightenment is. I'm so grateful to them. Then your mind feels exceptionally flowing towards the enemies. So now you see, your mind flows towards the near dear ones, towards the neutral beings, towards the enemies. Because your mind flows towards everyone is so close to you. Because your mind flows close to everyone, there's no enemy left. Right? This is how your mind feels like the benefit of all the beings. The moment the benefit is felt, your mind flows. And the more the benefit that you feel, the closer the mind flows. This is known as the special recollection of the kindness of all the beings. Okay, what is the next step? Altruism. Now that your mind flows towards these beings so closely, this is known as unconditional love. Unconditional love. Now, your compassion will not wait for any condition. Under any condition, your mind flows. So that is known as unconditional love. With this unconditional love, because you love your mother, the being so much, the tendency is that it can, if it sees the suffering nature of the beings, it will manifest in the form of compassion. So when you see the beings, you see the beings that they are suffering terribly because of the self-centered attitude and self-grasping ignorance. Then this freedom of love and affection will manifest in the form of compassion. With this compassion, may you be free from suffering and the cause of suffering, this compassion. What's the next question? Who will do it? Who will do it? Who will do it? This is the question. I will do it. The way the mother would say, my mother is suffering terribly from the fever. Who will take her to the hospital? I will take it. I will take the responsibility that all beings are free from suffering and the cause of suffering. This is altruism. How are you going to do this? This is the next question. How are you going to do this? Okay, through. So then you go to the history of the humanity to see, is there anybody who actually succeeded in this journey to do that? Yes, 2,500 years ago, there was a young prince by the name Prince Siddhartha. And he went into this journey, motivated with great altruism, meaning with so much compassion, he went in search of the path to benefit the beings. What path he discovered? The wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness, right? And what did he do? He experimented this wisdom of emptiness on himself first. He experimented and he realized that self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude, they're gone. They're gone all the offshoots, they're gone, miseries come to an end, all fears dissolve, and the happiness simply pervades to infinity. This is what he experienced. Wow. And then he, through his own experience, then he went to protect the beings. So I'm a prostration to the one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit all sentient beings. The teacher, Sugata, protector, to you I make prostrations. The one which we read every morning, right? Okay, this is who he was. I'm also in the same state. I love all the beings. I'm motivated to out of altruism to benefit all beings. Yes, so I should follow his footsteps to be the teacher, Sugata, and protector. I should go to protect the beings by first of all experimenting this wisdom of emptiness on myself. And through this, then I experience it, and then I really benefit the beings. Okay, I should become one like him. Then you say, step number 9. What's step number 9? Bodhicitta. May I become Buddha. The way Buddha Shakyamuni, Prince Siddhartha became, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all the sentient beings. You make a very strong commitment, verbally say this, and mentally try your best to flow. Let your mind flow according to the wordings, wholeheartedly. Then at times when you really start feeling this, you just feel like crying. This is so beautiful mind. This is the most beautiful mind that exists in this universe. The wisdom of emptiness is the most fearless mind that exists in this universe. This Bodhicitta is the most beautiful mind that exists in the universe. Anybody who has this fearless mind and the most beautiful mind, that is the most amazing person on this earth. Yes, Matthias.
I think as lay followers, we should also remember, for example, Anathapindika, who
yes.
practiced charity, because if we all strive to follow in Buddha's footsteps and be more like him, then we would become beggar monks, and we would not have the means to practice charity, which we have as lay followers.
Okay, so let's. One thing that I will suggest is we need to have a very complete picture of the Buddha's teachings. Buddha taught what is known as the four factors for happiness. Let us be very comprehensive. You're getting it? Okay, mentally, of course, various thoughts can come to us, but when we put into words, we put it in a very nice way, that because how you put in the word, that affects your imprints in your mind. So when we say we become a beggar monks, these are really, the little harsh words. Instead, we put it in a nice way, that if everybody becomes like Buddha, if everybody follows the Buddha's footstep, right? Forgetting everything, going to forest, then who will take care of the traffic lights? Right? Then who will take care of the machines? Then who will take care of the electricity? Right? Who will take care of then the other countries can easily invade Finland, right? For example, say Finland was under Russia for so many years, under Sweden for so many years. Again, you want that to happen? No, we don't want that to happen, right? So therefore, I'll not make everybody follow the forest. Okay, so this question. For that, let us be very comprehensive. Buddha's teachings is amazing. Why? I'm so, okay, you may think, oh, he is a Buddhist monk, he's following the Buddha's teaching anyways blindly. No, I'm a very skeptic person. You wouldn't believe. If you know me more closely, you see that I'm a very skeptic person since my childhood. Why I feel the Buddha's teaching so great is, one is its objectivity. The Buddha always encourages people to follow very objectively. Don't make your emotional states influence seeing the reality. Reality should not be tainted by your emotional inputs, by your subjective inputs. Objectivity. This is one thing which I really, really profoundly feel so happy with the Buddha's teaching, number one. Number two, the practicality of the Buddha's teachings. It's so practical. So therefore, this question, Buddha is not saying that everybody should go to the forest the way the Buddha himself did. And Buddha taught what is known as the four factors for happiness. 2 results and the 2 causes. Beautiful, it's amazing. 2 results and 2 causes. What are the 2 results? Immediate happiness and long-term happiness. Immediate happiness and long-term happiness. Immediate happiness means while we live now, you should be happy. You shouldn't suffer. While we live now, you should be happy. You should not suffer. While we live happily, make sure that you think of your lasting happiness, long-term happiness. Long-term happiness is the fearlessness and the infinite happiness. 2. So for the infinite happiness, you have to follow the dharma. For the immediate happiness, you need wealth. This is what the Buddha said. So Buddha never said that give up your wealth. The Buddha never said it. He is so particular that the wealth, the resources are not put to waste. So particular. Buddha is so particular. Very practical. So in other words, the message is those who have the capacity, who have the inclination to go to the forest and practice, go to the forest and practice. Those who have the inclination to stay in the community, serve the community and practice. It's beautiful. Meanwhile, wealth should not be underestimated, should not be forgotten like this. This is so important, the Buddha said. It's very practical. Okay, there are many more things to say on this. Okay, so now, very quick, we have the, it's 2 minutes past now. Okay, we'll quickly do the emptiness, very brief meditation emptiness instruction. For us, finally, if you really want to get out of the fears in life, all forms of fears in life, we have to learn how to meditate on emptiness. And don't expect that you learn this meditation, to do this meditation emptiness, and then tomorrow you have a very dire problem, and then you apply this and it doesn't work. Don't expect that. We have to practice it for a long period of time, and then the results will be felt. That's going to be extremely powerful and beneficial. Okay, for that matter, now that, okay, we are left with this one, this special configuration of the collection of the parts. In what way it is not the self. This one thing which is left. Okay, so this we will do in case we are left with a little more time in the end. For time being, how to meditate on emptiness, very quickly. 5 points. 5 points. Right? Go through these 5 steps, and then if you cannot really go into the detailed meditation, for the detailed meditation, most likely, in case if you happen to have the next meeting, meaning the next time, next year, then I'll be happy to do more detailed meditation on emptiness, because now that we know each other well, I would like to do more detail. There's the one I usually do wherever I go for Bodhicitta retreat. This is a very short one. We do that, the longer version of the meditation, more detailed version of the meditation emptiness. But this time, we didn't get the time, we'll do it next time. Okay, the short one. The short one, very quickly, this is something which everybody can do, is doable. Only time when you are not allowed to do is when you're driving. When you're driving and when you are, what do you call it? When the young boys or the girls, when you're biking, don't do that. Otherwise, under all situations, you can do that. Okay, 5 points. Number 1, the self. Self, S-A-L-F, self. Number 2, the 6 elements. 6 elements. Number 3, the 2 questions. Number 4, space like emptiness. Space like emptiness. Number 5, illusion like emptiness. Number 1, self. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 3, 2 questions. Number 4, what's number 4? Space like emptiness. Number 5, Illusion like emptiness. Okay, just think of these 5 points. Very easy. What do you do when you're going by car? Okay, let's say when you're going by metro, train, bus, the aeroplane, or you are just sitting, or you just having a cup of tea, or you put your head on the pillow while you're sleeping. Just go through these 5 points. It will not take you more than 3 minutes. Okay, 1, the self. Just think of the self. How does this self appear to I? Okay, well, I'm sad, I'm happy, this I. Then go to 6 elements. This I'm a girl because of this body, the girl's body. I'm a boy because of this body, the boy's body. And then they go into the element earth, the solid parts. Okay, the heart, lungs, the bones, the thin skin.